Day number 1 of the Vans World Cup of Surfing. We're into heat number 2 of round number 1 with Billy Stairmand, McGonagle, Timothee Bisso, and North Shore boy Eala Stewart. I'm Kaipa along with North Shore surfer and former championship tour surfer Ross Williams. As we see up and riding here, this is the Kiwi Billy Stairmand on his opening ride. Boy, and we had this during the break, and this looks like it's going to be the opening ride of McGonagle from Costa Rica.
Yeah, Noemar, kind of an underground hero, really. This guy, you know, he's got the potential to really kind of blow up in the Triple Crown. You can see he's a bigger guy. He's strong. He seems to always make pretty solid decisions surfing out here at Sunset. He's done pretty decent in the past, and that was Timothee Bisso representing Guadeloupe. And there's the Hawaiian right there. Just kind of a youngster. You can see a little more skinny, but a goofy footer. And he's got great technique. Almost reminds me a little bit of a throwback of Larry Rios in a way, which is kind of cool.
Good call.
And in the red jersey there, the Kiwi, that was a nice snap. Easily the best move so far in his heat. So a little bit of spark on that carve. He threw a good amount of spray. So Billy will be psyched on that. He's just, you know, trying to finish this wave on his feet. He knows he put down one move.
How the young goofy footer on the grind with the dream of, like, all these guys to make the championship tour. Here we go with Billy Stairmand up and riding. Nice off the top there. Has to relinquish to some cutbacks and hope this wave's going to stand up on the inside. Looks like it's going to do so, so he's going to have one more chance for a finish. And gets a couple of little snaps as it went kind of a little bit wide, but...
Those aren't really set too high right now. The scale's not set super high, so 5.5, you know, that can almost relate to like a 7.5 in a normal event. And another nice snap there. So one statement type of move there to start this wave before it mushed out in the channel. Looks like Billy Stairmand using some local equipment too.
Everything's like you're super far away, and there's this, you got the wind that does that chop sideways, and some waves look like a wave, but it's actually like a side chop, and it's nothing. So you gotta be careful with that, and it's hard to surf out there in these conditions.
And the heats turn to 30 minutes, and there'll be 30 minutes through the rest of the contest. Let's take a look at last wave of Eala Stewart.
Yeah, and Eala Stewart there, the opening maneuver. I didn't mind it, Kaipo. Got it just a touch of fin release, so a nice little snap to start, and then that wave put together some great heats here in Big Surf on the North Shore, so he knows how to get it done.
Here we go, goofy foot Bisso. Nice little hook off the top. Let's see if he can get that board vertical. Stabs it through, gets a little tail through the back of the wave, and falls off the end. So
I didn't mind that opening maneuver, but he wasn't able to finish out into the channel.
As we see Eala Stewart, another goofy footer, right foot forward, and just going to have to do a couple of lazy carves off the top as this wave pretty flat. Hopefully it stands up on the inside, which it does, and that's better right there. So nice combination of maneuvers, nice flow for Eala Stewart.
Getting off a couple of nice waves.
Here we go with Billy Stairmand. So through the lip, catches that outside rail. That's not going to be one of his top two. He is in first place with a 5.5 and a 4.67.
So you're not going to get that explosiveness that you see a lot, you know, say at Hull Eve or a Pipeline, where you're either getting absolutely pitted barreled or big maneuvers. You know, there's a lot of kind of biding your time between surfing. So it's a lot about flow and kind of connecting the dots.
Triple Crown title has to be the second most sought after award in surfing.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, what's cool about the Triple Crown is there's a lot of history involved, and there's legendary surfers that have won it. As we see Noemar connecting the dots there. Read this lineup. It's, you know, arguably the most difficult lineup to read in the world.
Yeah, it sure is. And here we go with Timothee Bisso. Has to get around this whitewater section. That thing goes wide. And right behind him is going to be our heat leader, Billy Stairmand. Good looking wave. Second wave of the set. Snaps it off the top with some aggression. Roundhouse. Gets back to the whitewater, back into the power of the wave. Another little quick snap for the Kiwi, and another round though. So good flow, good tempo, good variety of maneuvers. Looking to better his 4.67 and looking for this reform, but he's not going to get it, but got some work done.
Him catching in rails or looking like, you know, maybe he's going to fall. He looks like 100% he's going to execute. And right there, that is commitment. You know, we just saw the criteria. That was perfect. He committed to the heaviest part of the wave, right where it was breaking and kind of lunging at him. He smacked it in the face. You know, did a really nice off the lip. And then here, this is just bonus. And again, we talked about that before. If you can get one real solid maneuver, you're just basically trying to finish the wave. You're going to get the judge's attention. And here, Timothee Bisso on his backhand. He's going to be able to get that vertical attack going. being that he's on his backside, Kipes, a lot of times you're a goofy footer, you know how it is. You can get that sharp pivot.
Right, and that happens, it's almost a rule of thumb for almost anywhere. Here we go, Bisso up and out. So he's just searching, and because he's in that position, Billy Stairmand's going to continue to surf this out. Hopefully he heard his situation. Maybe he just wants to get a little bit more waves under his belt, but the mind frame that you have to be in today.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all about finding a wave that has good shape at sunset. You know, if you're not careful with this swell direction.
And this is going to be the choice test for Eala Stewart. Which wave he's not looking at that. Timothee Bisso is, however, hooks it off the top just for a one turn and jumps off of his board. More waves coming through. We'll see if Eala Stewart chooses one of these. Billy Stairmand, our heat leader, and Eala taking that wave from Stairmand. Now he's going to have to make it work for that 3.65, and that was a mistake, Ross.
Wow, and that's a part of the problem surfing Sunset Point. The bigger waves can break outside the reef.
McGonagle currently in second place, and the big Costa Rican grabs a rail, rebounds again, looking to better his 2.5, probably does it.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty solid cutback there, grabbing a rail for safety, and Billy up now.
Yeah, Billy Stairmand, heat leader, just enjoying a surf at this point at Sunset Beach, and gets tossed on that second turn. These rides.
Well, here he is. He's protecting, isn't he? He's in second place right now, so he's trying to up the ante, increase his lead to create a higher score needed from Eala and Timothee. Not the most aggressive cutback, but it was such a difficult section to deal with. You know, it was a bit flat, so he had to grab that rail to keep that rail cutting through the water.
And let's take a look at Stairmand.
Billy, you can see there, patience choosing that time when to bottom turn so that he can smack the lip. And I didn't mind it, but it was a bit of a mid-face bottom turn that set him up to that lip kind of early and in a funky place, Kaipo. So he didn't get that penetration or that projection he needed. He sort of missed the lip, didn't he?
Today, as we're down into the final minute, this is going to be the last swing for Eala Stewart. Nice bottom turn. Has to kind of nurse a turn off the top, and this wave looking pretty facey, Ross, but he will have an inside closed section and just mistimes that. You know he wanted to hit it hard, but McGonagle, he's going to continue swinging, currently in second place, coming through this inside section and bang through the lip there. So he's even going to get the reform all the way through, and this is going to just be a ride in for the Costa Rican. And there's our heat leader, Billy Stairmand, right behind him.
Yeah, one last little off the lip there for Billy, and let's see if he can get through that deep spot over to Val's Reef. I'm not sure. It looked like Neumar may have successfully made it over that deep water spot. You can see how deep it is. That wave actually stops breaking, and he did. Wow. So it looks like Neumar is going to protect that precious second place in advance.
Yeah, so unofficially, it looks like it's going to be Billy Stairmand and McGonagle on to round number 2.